Good morning. Happy Thursday. Today's Thursday, January 18th, and I am your morning witch, and I got my first Valentine nails going on. So the beginning of the year, I was like, it's the beginning. Let's talk about the beginnings of things. And you know what? I want to say like now it's popular, but it's actually always been popular. I just didn't know. Birth charts. It's the beginning of you. And a lot of people don't know what a birth chart is, but what a birth chart is literally a map of the sky from the moment you were born as it hangs above you where you were born, which is why the time you were born and the place you were born are just as important as the day and year and month and all that shit. Now, a rising sign is usually mentioned in one of the top three. It's also known as the ascendant, and that is the sign that is coming up, rising over the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. It also affects your perception of reality, as well as having to do with the themes that are recurring and cycles that are recurring and patterns that are recurring in your life. Most all of us are familiar with our sun sign, even those people who are not into astrology, and that is your identity, your ego, and your purpose. Lastly, of what's usually mentioned in your top three is your moon sign, which is your inner world, your emotions, your security. And because I was thinking about my Mercury sign, we're going to do a part 2 because there's not enough time for Facebook and Instagram reels, but TikTok, it's just going to be one thing for you. Okay, so for YouTube as well as TikTok, there won't be a part 2. It'll just be the TikTok video. And there's so much more than just the planets, but that's where we're starting because I got interested in my Mercury today, and that's where we started, guys. I'm always interested in my Mercury for a lot of reasons. I just got a new one today. But anyway, speaking of your Mercury sign, so your Mercury is not usually in the top 3, but your Mercury, it controls your communication, it rules your communication, it is your communication style, as well as it's representative of the mind and expression. I'm a Virgo sun and a Virgo Mercury, and my Mercury's in the 11th house, and if you know about birth charts, yeah. But like I said, there's a lot more than just the planets, so we'll get into more later. Okay, and then we move into your Venus sign, which usually is associated with love, right? People think Venus and love. And also, we're going to do Venus and Mars and then finish up, and because love and war, right? But not. So Venus is values, taste, and sensuality, which very much does equate to love, but it's not all that love is. Mars is motivation, action, and your sexuality. So again, you can see how Venus and Mars are so intertwined, and yet they're not the same thing, because Venus is like the softer side of this thing, and Mars is the harder side of this thing. And when you like look into the planets from that aspect, like certain sayings like, oh, and love and war, and women are from Venus, men are from Mars, makes a lot more sense.